Did you know your dog might be suffering right now? And you haven't noticed? Not because you're a bad owner, but because dogs don't cry like we do. They don't have emotional tears. They don't scream. They don't tell you something is wrong. They simply change. And if you don't know what to look for, you miss it. Today, we're going to talk about something very few channels dare to explain honestly. When your dog is truly suffering, what causes it, and how to recognize it before it's too late. Welcome to Wildick here. We learn to understand dogs for what they are. Complex emotional beings, not just pets. Stay until the end, because the number one cause of sadness in dogs is the one you would least expect. The first thing you need to understand is that dogs feel, not in a symbolic way, not metaphorically, in a real, biological way proven by science. In 2016, researchers at the University of Lincoln published a study confirming something dog owners had long suspected. Dogs recognize human emotional expressions and respond to them actively. Their brains process emotions in a surprisingly similar way to ours. They have oxytocin, the same hormone of love and bonding that humans have. They have cortisol, the stress hormone. And when something hurts them emotionally, those hormones spike just like they do in us. The problem is that the way they express it is completely different. And that difference is what makes us miss the signs. The first cause of sadness in dogs is prolonged loneliness. Dogs are pack animals. For thousands of years, they evolved to live in groups, to have constant contact, to never be alone. When we leave them alone for hours every day, their brain interprets it as abandonment, not as my owner went to work, as real abandonment. Studies show that after 4 hours alone, a dog's cortisol levels increase significantly. After 8 hours, some dogs enter a state of distress that researchers compare to a human anxiety attack. How do you recognize it? Your dog barks or howls when you leave, destroys objects that smell like you, pillows, clothes, shoes. Not because they're angry, but because your scent calms them and they need to be close to something that smells like you. When you come home, the reaction is disproportionate. Jumping, whining, extreme tail wagging. That's not normal happiness. That's relief after hours of distress. The second cause is the loss of a loved one. And this includes both people and other animals. Dogs form deep emotional bonds. When someone they loved disappears from their life, whether because they died, left home, or are simply no longer there, dogs process it as grief. The symptoms are almost identical to human depression. They stop eating. They sleep more than usual. They lose interest in playing, walking, in things that used to excite them. They look for the lost person or animal around the house, sniffing their belongings, staying in places where they used to be together. A 2022 study from the University of Milan found that 86% of dogs who had lost an animal companion showed at least 4 symptoms of grief for weeks or even months after the loss. It's not in the owner's imagination. It's real grief. The third cause is a drastic change in routine. Dogs live by routine. Routine gives them security. It tells them the world is predictable, that they are safe, that they know what to expect. When that routine suddenly breaks, a move, a new baby in the house, a change in the owner's schedule, even rearranging furniture, the dog perceives it as a threat. They don't understand why everything changed. They only know something is different. And that uncertainty creates real stress and sadness. You'll see it in their behavior. More nervous, more clingy, or the opposite. more withdrawn and silent. Some dogs develop obsessive behaviors, constantly licking their paws, spinning in circles, scratching surfaces for no apparent reason. The fourth cause is undetected physical pain. This is one of the most dangerous because we confuse it with emotional sadness when it's actually a sign that something physically hurts. Dogs don't verbalize pain like we do. They don't say, "My hip hurts." They simply become quieter, less active, less interested in everything. A dog that suddenly doesn't want to climb stairs, avoids certain positions, or reacts when you touch a specific area. That dog is probably suffering physically. And that physical suffering, if untreated, turns into emotional suffering as well. The connection between chronic pain and depression in dogs is well documented scientifically. If your dog has suddenly changed behavior and you can't find an obvious emotional cause, go to the vet. Before assuming they're sad, rule out physical suffering. And now we reach the number one cause, the one that surprises most owners when they discover it. The main cause of chronic sadness in dogs is not loneliness, not loss, not pain. It's the lack of purpose. Dogs were bred for thousands of years to do something. Herd, hunt, protect, guide. Every breed has a deep, almost genetic instinct to have a function. When that instinct isn't fulfilled, when a dog spends its days lying in an apartment without mental stimulation, without work, without challenges, it develops what ethologists call chronic frustration. It's not that they're bored. It's that their brain is designed to solve problems, to move, to have a role, and no one is giving them one. That frustration, built up over months or years, turns into real sadness, into apathy, into a dog that no longer reacts, no longer plays, that simply exists. The solution is not complicated. Scent games, daily training, even if it's just 10 minutes. New walking routes, puzzle toys. Giving your dog something to solve every day completely changes their emotional state. Not because it distracts them, but because it gives them back their purpose. Your dog can't tell you that they're sad, but they can show you. And now you know exactly what to look for. If this video made you think about your dog, tell me in the comments. Have you noticed any of these signs? I read every comment. And if you want to understand your dog like never before, subscribe to Canine Psychology, a new video every week about your dog's mind. See you soon.